waiting on Mark, or...
Yes, yes. Welcome everyone to Fated Worlds Changeling the Lost. The new second edition that's all shiny and is just out of Kickstarter. Um so how is everybody doing? That good, huh? All right. This is
I wanted someone else to go first. I normally go first.
Doing pretty well.
I mean, like I bought Overwatch because there was the free weekend, so I tried it and I was like, "Fuck, I really like playing Mercy. Now I have to buy this game. It's half off, so I guess I will." And
Yes.
then my internet decided that it was going to be shitty for the next like 3 days, and I could hardly play it.
It's okay. The buyer's remorse will hit you so hard in 6 months when it's too late to get a refund.
I mean, if it takes 6 months for me to decide I don't want the game anymore, I feel like I got my money out of it.
yeah.
That's true. But then there's the wasted hours of your life.
I mean, as long as I was having fun in those hours, that's not a problem.
Yeah, as
Hours
long as they
wasted
were
having
well
fun.
wasted.
I didn't know if
I
I
haven't
could
even played the game for a long time, but I've bought every Mercy skin the game has.
I actually won a Mercy skin out of the loot box. That was cool. Now I have the new like Lunar Event.
Oh yeah,
gold
the
skin.
Chinese New Year thing.
Yeah, I think it's funny because they have it in not Overwatch, Heroes of the Storm too, and I think Armello's doing one as well. They're all like Lunar Event or Lunar New Year. It's like, dude, we know it's Chinese. You put Year of the fucking dog. Like, no, you're not fooling anyone.
Yeah, well.
All I'm saying is I want my 2,000 Dota hours back. If there's some...
Well, see, that's because you were playing Dota. That's the problem.
Well, let's
those
not get into
2,000
that.
hours, they aren't coming back. I know. It's...
Mhm.
But if you weren't playing Dota, wouldn't you really have been playing some other game during that time, or no?
I guess, but
You
one,
might have
it could
been
have
less
been,
miserable.
say, well, one is like I could have, say, been playing a single player game that had some kind of story or narrative that helped me gain an insight into the human condition, or my other favorite thing to do, which is if you have a time sync game that's casual enough that you can like listen to an audiobook or informative podcast in the background, whereas Dota's like you're playing Dota. No one's like, listening to Mostly Walking while playing Dota. You're playing, those are 2,000 hours of just playing. Nothing else was accomplished during those.
I love that your go-to example is a video stream of people playing adventure games.
I mean, you don't need to see Mostly Walking. Like people who are watching, you're using your time half as well if you're watching.
I don't know because the last time I actually tuned into Mostly Watching, there was a good amount of humor from the ridiculousness of the game itself.
Well, then if your game's casual enough, you can just push your Alt key, push your Tab key, be like, "Oh, Bill," and then go back in when it's fun. Anyway, that's my tangent. Do you want to play a role-playing game about
I always
fairies
want
and shit?
Playing game.
That sounds pretty
Usually
cool.
about fairies and shit.
Cool. So we're in Bristol. The streets, mean? Question mark with an upward inflection. Some of you are surveying a squat. Some of you are leaving a squat. You have an important meeting at dawn tomorrow, where you'll meet the various kings and queens of the courts, and it's sort of duskish at the moment. It's maybe like 5:45. The sun is beginning to set. Some of you are at a squat. Some of you are not. Big day tomorrow. Talk to me about things you're gonna do.
Because we all kind of puffed out real quick last time, I wanted to talk about beats real quick before we got started tomorrow. We all should have got one beat for the session. That's just a thing.
That's true.
And then I noticed I had mentioned last time that the categories were all once per scene only, but Hunt and I were looking over things and realized that that's actually just in Mage. Uh, apparently, because mages have two kinds of XP, they decided that they both needed to be limited more. But everybody else is not limited in that way.
I mean, to my mind, you
I think
didn't.
the only one that was limited for changelings was condition resolution.
I mean, I didn't see any beats to my recollection. Are there any beats that you would like to propose?
Man,
Well, I
goes
definitely
on.
think I got one for resolving my Harvest Glamour aspiration.
You did do that. And that is a thing that you said you wanted to do, and then you did.
And some of us had aspirations about safe.
Yeah, so like,
I think Hunt probably resolved his. I don't know for sure if I resolved mine because
like since mine was pretty vaguely just like to find a safe place. I think that got resolved because I think it was, as far as I understand, this place right here on the screen was supposed to be one. So
That is what you've been told yesterday. In fact, you were
yeah,
told, in no uncertain terms, to definitely stay there tonight and not stay somewhere else. And that it is very safe with magic. So yeah, definitely, if you had find a safe place, then take that. I know that some people maybe were disdained with the slight musk of it. So if you kind of want to like screw yourself over and like say that your character doesn't think it's safe and not give yourself a beat, you may not give yourself a beat. Otherwise, give yourself a beat.
Oh, and where do we mark them? I guess there's a spot experience, which is equivalent.
so the 1E version of the sheet doesn't have a spot for them. I'm just putting them like above the aspirations for now. But once the update for the 2E version, which I already submitted to Roll20, so should only be a matter of time unless I fuck something up and they don't like it. But I've never had a problem before.
yeah.
And then at that point there'll be little checkboxes. But for now.
Cool. Anyone else got any beats they want to cash in on?
I don't think so.
And then on that note, would then anyone? Oh, we lost someone. We lost Sal.
Welcome back. Welcome back.
Cool. And then on that note, if anyone wants to set new beats now, new like goals.
Yeah. By the rules, you get to change your resolved aspirations at the end of the session, which is, I suppose, a natural limiter on how many beats you can get out of them.
Yeah, we didn't really have time last time, so we'll say you can do it now if you want to.
Yep.
And please talk to me about your goals if you would like, or keep them secret.
So like my new one is going to just be. I still don't have a long term one right now, but I'm going to make one that's to get to know my two co-escapees. So that's Alexander and Paige. I'd like to sort of, so the aspiration is about that, and then I think I'll make one about seeking out my family. There.
I don't think I. Regain my mortal fortune. Scare the hell and glamour out of people. To get vengeance on True Fae, which is more of a long term. For those first two, I hope to.
So you actually went with the kill Mr. Titan. Great.
Yeah, the last one is ambitious.
Mm-hmm. Cool. Anyone else have any kind of housekeeping-y things before we get our roleplay juices flowing? Or also as well, on that note, if there are any other like little tidbits of Bristol or general questions anyone wants to field?
Well, I think you already talked about this, but my connection was being real crap, and I heard an occasional syllable, which is also why I've turned my camera off. That seems to have helped. But I was trying to determine if my find a safe place to stay the night would be resolved from last time or not, since currently they have no intention of actually staying the night there. But they did find it. So it's like I could.
It is a safe place to spend the night, but
Sure. I mean, I said that it was up to you. You could either like take the decision that your character feels that they have not found a safe place and therefore not take it, or you can be to the letter and not the spirit and take it if you want. So yeah, it's up to you.
I think I'm gonna take it because the reason they're not wanting to stay there isn't that they don't think it's safe, it's that they think it's disgusting.
Well, and to be honest, you have kind of secured a different place to stay tonight through your swoonery.
Right.
Yeah.
So you could take it for that, I suppose.
That also was a thing. We'll do that. And then
what
my
could be
two
safe?
new.
I was just gonna say, what could be safer than what's her name's arms?
Rachel.
Yeah, Rachel.
With the good hair.
And my new aspirations are fulfill one of Rachel's desires and fulfill a desire of my new companions.
Oh, so you're gonna help me take out, get vengeance on True Fae?
I mean, I did not say a long-term major desire. Maybe I'll just give you a candy bar when you're really hungry.
Just made a note that says "Rip Brad," so that's nice. Look forward to that later.
Well, the thing is, I don't know how, I haven't like looked over what the True Fae can do, so I don't know how impossible a goal I
Sure,
set.
you don't know how tall the mountain is. Yeah, that's a reasonable emotion to have. I mean, maybe later we can have come to terms with never getting vengeance as anyway. Any other bits and bobs before we get this crazy truck down the roleplay superhighway?
Hun, did you want to talk about the keepers thing?
Oh, right. Yeah. Actually, we. So this was something that came up that we thought that there could be potentially interesting stuff in if even though we've like just recently met, but if possibly there were some connections during the Durns, and even is the word titles?
Yeah.
Yeah, so like even that they could be that like our keepers were literally different titles of the same Fae, which might come up at various points, like since you tend to dream about your Durns and all that.
Yeah, I think that's definitely cool. I think as well, whether you want to do it like that or if maybe your keepers were like rivals and you were used as sort of pawns against each other, so you sort of met on the game board, as it were. Whatever you guys think is cooler, or it could be that the two titles were also rivals because fairies.
Yeah, because they might be right.
Yeah. I like the idea that my character's keeper was friends with somebody else's keeper, or at least allies. I don't know if fairies really have friends. Uh, and
I mean,
perhaps they were used as like a reward for given to somebody else's, like.
Or a thing that I always like as well is if, say, you had one of them as your keeper originally, but then you were like lost in a game of chance or something, and you were like a poker chip that got handed over.
Yeah, that kind of thing.
So yeah, all of that and more is possible, and things that seem like they might be mutually exclusive aren't.
Yeah.
Because Arcadia.
And there's room for us to be like, oh shit, I had a dream, and now I remember that I did know this person.
Yeah, because we specifically like because I kind of described that I got like sort of stuck staring at the like doll joints, and I was like, oh, I mean, it could have been that I'm like vaguely remembering something, right? Like
Yeah.
what doll joints? But yeah, so it could grow into something, but we'll see.
But yeah, I think that's everything I can think of.
Okay, so Paige, are you like leaving the situation, or are you just doing like a I'm not going in there? What's the kind of rule kind of stood
I
outside?
think what I had said was that once Calypso
Mhm.
left us to our own devices, Paige just turned around and went back to the club.
Oh yeah, to the cafe.
Oh yeah, it was a.
Oh, and
Okay, and
oh.
then Brad and World, are you guys going to sort of follow? Are you going to attempt to stay the night without incidents? What are your sort of plans for the immediate future?
Well, my immediate plan, and I apologize for uh, breaking in with something actually not related to the game, but thank you so much for the host Trello love. Um, then in game, I think I'm going to like poke my poke my head into the squat just to get like uh, some sort of feel of it, like nothing like special or magical or anything, just to uh,
Well,
just
you can, if you would like, you can roll me a resolve and composure at -2.
all right.
It's usually wits composure for perception. If that's what
Uh,
this is, I don't know if
is it?
that's what.
I thought you just rolled clarity for this sort of thing. I thought there was a special rule for it in the new thingamabob to do with keening,
I think
or is
kenning
it
might be
wits?
clarity, but kenning is when you try to detect magical stuff, which could also be a thing he's doing.
Yeah, that was what I thought you were doing. So yeah, are you just literally surveying it, as in like mundanely, or are you trying to discern if there is magic warding it? What's your intent, Brad?
Uh, I guess I'm not trying to determine if there's like not necessarily if there's magic warding it, but if I overall get like a good or bad feeling about it.
I guess then just roll yeah, wits and composure and have a +1.
Assemble my die pool. Uh, oh no, the die thing.
Also, for those of you thinking about jamming World of Darkness, this is the classic give them +1 early on something that doesn't matter, so then you can just hit them with the hard -5s constantly later on, and you're like, oh, I gave you that +1 earlier. I'm not biased. It's fine.
Yeah, that is totally fair.
Hmm.
Ah, okay.
Great. So yeah, as I mentioned before, there is in the areas with carpet, there is a slight, or I guess in the immediate area, there's a carpet, and it smells of stale urine. There's no like, you don't sense like an otherworldly dread. There's not any gloom or doom. It's actually quite bright and colourful. Lots of graffiti and stuff on the walls, and it's all quite interesting, surreal imagery. There's no, it doesn't say like fucking cunts or anything. It's all quite nice. No, it's not all good, but it's all nice.
Okay.
So I don't think it would have affected the end result. But was that supposed to be intelligence occult +6?
No, it's...
Oh no, no, it was
No, it was
not.
not.
But we'll go with the hashtag. It's fine.
Okay. I think it was the right amount of dice. Oh no, I
No.
see what was going on. I was rolling off of the off of
Oh, the wrong sheet.
yes.
That's true.
Yeah, because that's Lisa.
Okay, but it was with plus composure, right? So I would have had I would not have had less dice.
Once again, it's fine. There is no monster under the carpet
Okay.
Yeah.
that you know of.
Yes, yes. That...
But no, you stick your head in here. It's a squat. If you've been in a squat, it is a squat, much like a mundane squat of this real Earth.
Okay. So yeah. I'm not horrified or anything, but I'm not going to stay for now. Because no, I'm looking for trouble. Like specifically, uh, looking for I'm going to I'm going to make my adieus and uh, go just uh, drift off into the city and uh, kind of I'm not sure how to go about doing this, but I'm going to start looking for a lone asshole.
Okay, great. And so, um, Hunt, you see, so one of your companions has left already. Another sort of surveyed the squat and is looking to leave. What are your plans for the immediate future, or what are Vasilia's plans for or Vasilisa? Is that how it's said?
Yeah, Vasilisa, if it's the
Hmm.
full name, not the diminutive. But so I I think she would have been like peeking around the inside of this and just probably didn't notice that page like immediately like didn't even come in and now it's like that she's seeing Alexander going. I think it's like oh wait, and goes to follow.
Yeah.
Where are you going?
Well, nowhere in particular, but
The same place I'm going.
oh, perhaps I should finish. Um, nowhere in particular, but I was uh, feeling, let us call it hungry, or maybe unglamorous if you prefer. Um, so, if you wish to indulge, I suppose you could join me in that.
well, I don't have any plans.
Very well.
And
Is it distracting to have your head made of butterflies?
destructive.
It provides perspective.
I mean, I can't think of any insect I'd rather have my head be made out of.
As these things go. Yeah.
If my head has to be made out of insects, I would prefer butterflies.
Like, wait a moment. I think I lost something, and and I don't know if you wait, but she starts like looking around and checking like in corners and in different rooms. Um, so and it goes for like about a minute, and then she just like exclaims, like, "Ah, there it is!" And like goes into a room and comes out with a bike. And so this was a contract of mine, which was hidden reality. I felt like it was possible for there to be a bike in one of these rooms. So, and having to look for it is the loophole.
And surprised when you find
yeah,
it.
and acting
Or at least
surprised when you
acting
found it.
surprised.
So,
Right.
so like, yes, there. I can't believe there was just a
Oh
bike there.
god! A
Like,
bicycle! Yeah!
it's such a man.
Yeah, I
So
think,
lucky.
Yeah, I think I waited around for like 20 seconds just to see if it was like something immediate, and then when you started searching around, started to leave. So when you come out with the bike, I'm like halfway down the block, but not
Yeah, it's like,
not out of sight.
I mean, like I put one foot on one of the pedals and sort of like use it to roll after you. And so like, I found it. Look, I can't
I
believe like the
see.
things they leave in these places. It's,
Well,
Uh,
uh, I don't know if a bicycle is the uh, let me see, appropriate uh, accoutrement for the sort of hunt I was envisaging. But to each their own.
well, if they're running, you're pretty like you're gonna catch them with the bike.
Well, uh, generally speaking, I would think that once they're running, then uh, success has already been achieved.
Are you into fear?
Oh. How'd you guess?
Well, the running thing. Well,
That's not a problem, is it?
yeah, there's worse things.
Well, hopefully that's for others to find out.
You know, how are you gonna do this? I feel like being back, we shouldn't just like jump someone. There's like police, right? There's police.
There's like
Uh,
Yes, we wouldn't want someone to tell the police that their childhood fear scared them. That would be awful.
Brad, if I could make a small suggestion, I'm loving what you're doing, but I believe Alexander would refer to them as the constabulary.
Oh.
Constabulary.
But please,
For sure.
please continue.
Yeah, consider that inserted.
But yeah, like for Bossy's part, like she basically continues like this same like stream as we go wherever we go, so it just like flows on.
Cool. So I believe then you two are gonna hunt for a lone asshole, and Paige is going to return to Cafe Kino, home of the vegan crunk. We'll have a roll off if one of you from Team Lone Arsehole can roll a d10, and if Paige, you can roll a d10 as well, please. Oh damn!
Okay, is that good? Oh wow!
Oh shit! Roll again. Roll again.
All right.
The hype is unreal. Okay.
All right then.
Your search for a lone asshole leads you to Cafe Kino. The dice have spoken. I would make you roll investigation and stuff like that, but so we'll start with Paige then. But we'll have you guys come in as apparently the dice desire you to be married. So Paige, you return to Cafe Kino. If I'm recording correctly, are you like barefoot and stuff?
Yeah, I believe I am wearing a pink baby doll, and that's it.
So yeah, your feet are probably quite dirty by now. It's only like 5 minutes walk, probably less than that, maybe like 3.5. It's very close, but still, yeah, the streets of Bristol are not well cleaned, and there's like chewing gum and stuff like that. So yeah, you're maybe a little bit cold and a tiny bit dirty. Well, your feet are definitely a lot dirty, but overall, you're not very dirty. But yes, you return to Cafe Kino. It's still quite busy, maybe even a bit busier now as it's people are starting to finish work. What would you like to do?
I mean, I'm gonna see if I can find Rachel.
She's not there, but you do have a hot date scheduled for later and her cell phone telephone number.
Well, in that case, I think she just sits in the corner booth.
Okay, great. So you guys return and you find a lone asshole. It's Paige. No, I'm just joking. So yeah, you head back sort of the way you came, and there is someone outside of Kino. They've got like a coffee in one hand and a mobile phone in the other, and they're sort of shouting and using some very unpolite language, screaming down the phone at someone. They're like a business person. They've got like a suit and leather shoes. And they're seething in rage. Seething.
Yeah. Well, rage isn't so tasty. Good start.
There's a hint of indignation.
Oh, okay. So yeah, how to should look over my stuff and figure out if there's a way to do this without spending glamour.
Loopholes to help.
Yes.
And you can harvest glamour, which I think is what you're trying to do with like any role, just as long as it means that you are involved or directly experiencing the experiencing the emotion firsthand is the way it's worded, but any role can accomplish it if it's relevant.
And you don't have to be causing emotion.
So I walk over and bump into this person.
Cool. They kind of like sneer on you, a little bit. Their coffee goes on their thumb, and they kind of like, and they're like, "Which way you fucking going?"
What? I didn't see you.
And now they're just like screaming down the phone again. They've like tuned you out of reality.
God damn it. Hey, you should. Hello. I like wave my hand in front of them.
They kind of like look at you, and they're kind of like frowning, and they're really like trying to like still, they're like trying to ignore you, but you see they are like glancing at you, and they're kind of like trying to like turn their back so they're like facing the wall and kind of like shielding themselves from you.
Wait, that's really rude what you're doing.
I think I would like a roll from you, please.
Okay.
I guess maybe like performance or something
So
like
so
that.
so I mean, I am trying to get them to tell me something like you need to go away or I will, I don't know, do something or
Sure.
Anything to the to that effect, but
yeah, roll me a social skill at +1.
Like a manipulation, social.
I feel like socialize.
Subterfuge. Yeah, persuasion.
Yeah, I would accept a either of those, subterfuge, or you are both being devious and also trying to persuade someone.
So +1, so 7.
As they are already quite upset.
Three successes for annoy.
Cool. So yeah, they turn around and they kind of like he actually drops his coffee and he like puts the phone to his side and he's like, "Fuck off." And yeah,
Or what?
Or I'll make you, you fucking cunt.
Okay.
Yeah.
So-
I want to.
Oh no, I know what you're doing.
No,
jerk.
I go, and then I look at them, and I watch the red haze of lingering betrayal around him, and since he has now sworn a promise to me in this scene, I don't need to pay the glamour cost.
Nice.
So this is wits plus empathy plus it's the royal contract Oathbreaker's punishment, which is wits, empathy, and word against their composure. And what it does? Well, let's see if it succeeds. But
So would it be like I think their composure's 3?
yeah. So
It's minus their.
Mm-hmm.
oh, it's minus there. Okay, so -3. So wits is 3, empathy is 2, and word is 3. So it's 8 minus 3. Oh, wow, an exceptional success.
Wow.
Wow.
Oh, wait, so okay, so not only is the success, so I sense all broken vows for which the target has not yet atoned, and I can make living nightmares, waking nightmares for them from any of them or any combination of them, and also because I'm wizened, I glean all details of all these broken oaths. So it's not just that the target broke their wedding vows, but that he cheated on his husband with a brunette because he feels lonely when his spouse works long nights.
I mean, wow. So there is like an ocean of broken oaths. I mean, this person, they make false promises like 40 hours a week for a high salary, and then on the weekend they break other oaths. So yeah, there's infidelity, there's lying, deception, backstabbing. Like there's thousands. They have thousands of
Wow.
broken oaths.
Okay. I think like I went sort of back to Alexander. It's like, this dude really is an asshole. You wouldn't believe the things he's done.
And
So many.
just while this is going on page, you can sort of hear you heard like fuck off, you cunt, like through the window in your booth. But yeah, sorry, please go on. So yeah, he's seething at you, and he's not he's kind of just stood there, and he's basically like just like crunching his phone, and you hear like the sound of like the creaking of the plastic, and he's kind of just stood there, sort of shaking, almost foaming.
I think I was like polishing the salt shaker with one of the napkins. And then, I put that down to look out the window, and now I'm watching what's happening.
Cool. And the outside people. So yeah, this guy's just kind of giving you the dagger eyes. What would you like to do?
I mean, I'm just like just chatting to Alexander. It's like, and like he cheats, he betrays, doesn't seem to be able to keep any promises, really.
You know of a specific, embarrassing one?
You're having this conversation in front of the guy.
Oh.
Well, I mean, like maybe sort of a little bit away.
Okay,
Just like it's still probably weird.
Yeah, I mean, if he's
like...
still yelling, rather than actually responding, I think I'm gonna try and just kind of pretend that I'm uninvolved and like start to walk past, but then as soon as I do pass, I'm going to try and pluck one of his hairs.
Wow. Okay. I
Randomly.
presume.
For no reason at all.
Are you attempting just to take a hair, or to take a hair unnoticed?
Ideally unnoticed.
Okay, you can give me a dex plus larceny at -4.
At -4, you say?
I mean, the thing about hair is that it's like connected to their body, and they have like nerves that can feel the pain of the hair being pulled out.
Okay. So what happens if the penalty is larger than the die pool?
You just roll 1, and if it's a 10, you do it, and if it's anything else, you don't.
Okay.
If it's a 1, you fail dramatically.
Describe to me a clever way that you might do it, and then I might take it to like a -3 or 2 rather than -4. But
also,
that still sounds like 1 die to me. So
okay, great.
If you want to do the fancy 0 die roll with the sheet, you can just click chance in the bottom right box of the dice roller thingy. And then
so there might be a bit of a distraction because one of the girlfriends that this man has cheated on suddenly just turns up from behind him and stabs them in the stomach.
Okay. And this
I can craft 6 waking nightmares within the next 2 weeks against this person now.
Okay. Yeah, well, I mean, if you're doing that, then I don't need the hair.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
I was gonna say like, why is he not already like terrified with that role? Like, what are you waiting for?
And just to be clear, as I don't have an encyclopedic knowledge of all the contracts just there, this is an illusionary girlfriend. He's not actually
Yeah,
being.
Oh, and I'm sorry,
Yeah,
the
I would assume Waking Nightmare means he's probably the only one.
Sure. I would
yeah.
assume too, but just to check.
Uh,
Okay, great.
the last one scene, um, creating a bastion along a dreaming road, even though the target isn't asleep. It can be dream shaped if someone is so inclined. Um, I don't actually know. I should maybe look since I have this contract, but like I don't know if like to what degree these waking nightmares harm people. But I would probably do a breaking point because like it might be shocking to have
Yeah, he
your
would.
ex girlfriend come over and stab you.
Yeah, I was just reading the dream section. But yeah, he would take like what for you would be clarity damage, but like
Right.
integrity damage. So yeah, I'm just gonna now roll to see how much his mind potatoes.
We were actually.
Oh no, I forgot. Oh my god, my icon is wrong. I'm still using the icon from Hacking Infinity. Oh god, I just noticed. I'm so ashamed. It's too late to leave. Also, I miraculously got one success. Um, so let me see then. So yeah, he kind of like falls to his knees and he's kind of like clutching, at his chest and he's like pulling his shirt open with one hand and then like kind of like flailing with his legs and screaming. And you see Paige from inside one of the waitresses in the cafe sort of like sighs heavily and gets their phone out and begins calling the police. Meanwhile, outside, yeah, this guy's losing his shit. He's not full on like like eyes zoned over, but he's definitely in an intense panic.
Has
I
he
think
ever
I want.
been mean to animals in some way that like would have been a broken oath or like a
No,
broken promise?
no, I don't think. No, it's
Okay.
mainly people, almost entirely. A
I,
little bit of property damage, but mainly just like human interaction.
No
I
dogs will
think
try to eat him.
I want to try volcanic here to see if I can figure out what the fuck is up with this dude.
You cut out a little bit. Sorry, what did you want to try to figure out with this dude?
I want a kenning at him.
Oh, sure. Yeah. Roll your clarity.
Point. Willpower. Yeah, roll current clarity. And it says the storyteller rolls it in secret, but I think that's very silly because like no real.
Oh no, that does actually make a lot of sense. But yeah, you can detect the use of contracts going on. You can kind of see the a ghostly apparition of this woman standing over him with a bloody knife.
um yeah,
Yeah,
and I'll
and she's
just
like just going like now that she's on the ground, she's like she's screaming something. It's completely incomprehensible. Like there's no you can't make out any words, and like she seems to be trying to cut off a hand.
I don't think it actually tells me exactly. It just tells me like yes, there is a supernatural.
Ah, okay. Well, you see the aura of magical energies, the kaleidoscope mist of magic occurring.
and I'll just lean over him and say, "Oh my, that looks like arterial blood." Um, and I want to suck up all the glamour I can.
Okay. So obviously, empathy is the thing that comes to mind, or do you want to intimidate him to sort of like create a fear cycle? What would you like to do?
I want to intimidate him, and yeah.
Cool. Intimidation. I think either presence or manipulation would work.
Okay. I think it's what I'm doing is manipulation, like
Yeah,
trying
I think
to,
so too.
add to his feeling that he's going to die.
And you're rolling at like either +4 or +5, just because obviously the
I,
setup has been, he's literally on the floor crying into his hands.
Okay. Uh, so manipulation plus intimidation, uh, +4.
Yeah, 4 or 5, depending on how what you guys feel is fair.
I, it's a crazy large die pool at +4, so it's fine. Yeah.
Have 3 glamour, friend.
Okay. Uh, that's weird. That's what I had marked, but no, that's I keep on looking at Bossius.
And would you also like to get some Vasi?
No, it's it's the wrong taste.
Sure. Okay. Okay. You've got a palette that you need to establish. I respect that. I respect that.
I mean,
I think
I'm full, so
like I would go inside and like go where Paige is sitting.
Okay. Uh,
yeah. When you sit
hmm.
down,
Yeah, I
Paige just looks at you and is like, "Was that you?"
That man isn't good at rules.
She just like frowns.
uh, yeah, I think I'll just kind of. I think as you're going, I'll just say, Vasya, you are a treasure, but we should go.
Oh, where?
Uh, Anywhere.
I guess I stand up and are you like, do you want to come? Like looking at Paige.
I think she tilts her head and looks at the clock. Uh, how long is it till my date?
Like 2 hours. It's like 6 now, and oh no, it's like 7 now. So yeah, like an hour.
Did we agree on where they would pick me up?
I believe you would probably be meeting at the full moon, which is like half an hour away if you are walking.
Then think she'll like shrug and be like, "Suppose I could walk with you for a while."
Excellent.
Excellent,
Did that did
excellent.
that man have
Actually,
any gold?
Does he have any what?
Gold.
Any gold?
I would
You loot the businessman and find a copper dagger and a ring of protection.
perhaps his watch, but it would be unwise to be seen actually stealing from him, and I think there's no point. I do actually have destination in mind, if you would, lady.
Okay. I think I um like there's so many more dreams that I could make for this person though. But I suppose if we start like going, I'll like as we go, I'll let
I
the
think.
contract go.
Do you need to?
I don't know.
There's
I
no
guess I don't
cost to
need to.
maintaining it. Like,
Yeah.
it'll go away after a fortnight if you never see this guy again.
Yeah, I suppose. I can just like keep it there.
Doesn't each one last a scene though? But you can create them within a fortnight, or
By
does each
default,
one last
that
a
one
fortnight?
specifies that it lasts a fortnight.
Oh wow!
Yeah,
They last for a
the
scene for default, but some specify something else. This one specifies a fortnight or until you use it, which I assume means spend all the successes.
yeah the nightmares themselves last the scene, so
Sure.
it could be the night or the hour.
Yeah, I just wanted to check he wouldn't have like a ghostly attacker for 2 solid weeks.
That would be pretty rough. Down.
Yeah, I mean, it
Get
would be.
stabbed for 2 weeks.
Yeah, it would be amusing to keep it going until after the police arrive, so that he's like ragingly incoherent while they're assessing him, and
True.
yeah.
Before we leave,
But that would be twisting the knife.
when
I'm forgetting. Oh, sorry.
when Xander says it would be unwise to steal something be seen stealing something from him, Paige asks, "What's your name, Vasya?" Yeah, she's like,
Yeah.
"Do you want his watch?" Need gold from him?
Like, go closer and like take a look and see if the watch looks nice.
Okay, so you do hear like one, you hear the warble of a siren,
Okay.
and two, am I remembering it right that you were like taken as a baby, and so like you spent pretty much your whole adult life in Arcadia? Is that
Yeah, not quite a baby, but like a
okay?
6-year-old.
Oh, okay. Still a 6-year-old. And were you native to the United Kingdom prior to this, or?
Yeah, I think it was. Yeah, it was actually in Bristol that where I was taken. Like, so it's the same place, sort of.
Okay, roll me like intelligence and academics at like -2.
Okay. So 5 and no.
Okay, yeah, it seems fine. Yeah, so yeah, so you hear a warble at the side of the background. Would you like to check the watch?
Yeah, I mean, I think I went over to look if it like how it looks.
Yeah, it's a fancy watch. It looks to be a sort of chrome rather than gold.
But it's shiny.
It is. It is. It looks very expensive, definitely.
Yes, but he's probably a sort of like flailing around too much, so this isn't really convenient. I don't think I have any like as far as I know, it's like once the nightmare starts, it's kind of his nightmare.
Yeah, he appears to be trying to like put something back in to his sort of middle region. He's sort of scooping something
Yeah.
off the ground.
Do you show any like outward signs of appreciation of the watch? Like,
Yeah, it's like I mean if you look like it does look nice.
okay, Paige opens and dumps out the salt shaker and like grabs a fork or a knife or something off one of the tables and just like pricks her finger with it to like drop a bit of blood on the pile of salt.
Yeah.
And then like just sort of holds her hand over it. And it like forms into a little man made of salt. And she sends it to go steal the watch.
Wow. Okay.
That cost me a glamour because I did not, I don't think, perform a significant favor for the element or material in this scene.
Oh, the
No,
element
I
of
don't
salt.
think you insult Gucci at the moment. But there's a goal for next week, maybe. Become tight with salt. Okay. One, do you have to roll for activation? And two, does the helper have stats?
Oh, that's right. I think. Oh no, there is no dice pull for that. But it is statted as if it were a hedge ghost with power 1, finesse 3, resistance 1, no influences or noumena. I choose its size between 1 and 7. I chose 1.
Because it's tiny salt. Okay, would
Has
you like
natural
to roll?
advantages granted nice makeup. For example, a fire servitor cannot be burned.
Okay. Well, yours is always mad when it loses. Do you want to roll me a? So the police are nearly here, but you can try and have your little salt minion get. I mean, I presume you're going to open the door for it. And then yeah, if you want to roll me your little salt minion, like I presume he's like Lance Zero, or does it have skills as well?
It doesn't. Yeah, it has power 1, finesse 3, resistance 1. I think it would be finesse is what he would roll.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it'd be like
3 dice.
plus glossary if he has it. And then the guy's defense is probably like 2 at the moment, just because he is still, he's got. We'll say it's 1 actually, because he is so distracted.
Generally, he would roll that. It would be an opposed. Wow.
Cool. So yeah, your little salt minion. So my favorite thing to say as the GM, what does that look like?
Yeah, I think it like pops off the table and like it does the like the faux Mission Impossible like darting from table leg to table leg so people don't see it. And then it like runs out the door behind when somebody else opens it and like dashes under the guy and like climbs up under his arm and undoes the watch and it runs back with it like carrying it over its shoulder because it's probably not much bigger than the watch itself.
I was imagining it put the watch on like a bandolier, like Chewbacca.
Nice. Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's totally what it does. And it just like comes back and Clarity like picks it up. Or not Clarity. Sorry, Paige like picks it up gently and hands it to no. She gently like takes the watch off and hands that to Vasya.
Oh, thank you.
And then she like pats the salt man on the head and I think she like lets him ride on her shoulder. He'll dissipate at the end of the scene. But
Have the police already gotten close enough that we'd be observed walking away?
Let's see. I mean, well, so can you once again? How long ago were you taken,
Like 3 years.
Brad? Okay. So you're a relatively modern human, and once again, did you were you native to Bristol, or were you far away and through head shenanigans you wound up here?
I was thinking that as local also.
Okay, so if you can also give me a intelligence and academics, just -1.
Okay.
Because you were a grown ass person, I believe.
Well, I do this maybe.
I just have to check. What were the exact things you lose clarity for again? Is this sort of like
It's
thing?
not like a doing bad things. It's
Okay.
to do with it's not being aware of what is real and what is not, or being forced to do things that you do not consider to be you. So either the
Okay.
world being not as you think it is, or you being not as you think you are the sort of two
Mm.
big triggers. Or to paraphrase, weird, trippy shit tends to be that
All right.
kind of thing. Or if you're in the dream world, you take like clarity damage instead of like body damage.
Okay.
And there's like kind of like soft and hard clarity damage, kind of like aggravated damage in the old system. I think there's still aggravated damage in this, yeah, or like there's like aggravated and normal clarity damage as well.
They sort of map bashing and lethal with aggravated just not existing for clarity, but it
Mm-hmm.
So okay.
Or how I think of it, lethal and aggravated rather than bashing and lethal.
I will say it does
Yeah.
say that torturing someone is 5 die, but I guess I'm not doing it. This is just their dream.
Well, and
I
it's as well,
mean,
it's like you know, if you thought you were the sort of person who wouldn't torture someone on a whim, then yeah. But I'm just
Oh no,
presuming
this
that
is
you already
important.
knew that you were.
Because like
Uh,
as we leave, if we leave, I don't know.
sure, I presumably. What were you gonna say?
Oh, as we leave, I would because this person, because I know all of them. This person must have at some point when they were a child told uh like their parents or someone that they were going to school and then didn't. At least one
Um,
time.
I
to be fair,
don't.
you
Class, that
only
sort
know
of
the
thing.
ones they didn't atone for yet.
Right,
So,
but
like, if they
atoning
were already
is
punished for it,
true.
And as well, it's definitely actually their childhood is quite spotless. It's only
Oh, okay.
the earliest one is from maybe like their 20s. It seems there was a shift at some point, and the behavior began after that.
Ah, okay. Well, I mean that's good then. Okay. All right. Oh, well, nothing then. Nothing then.
And just to hopefully maybe salvage the soul hints, Paige, if you can also, just because you've not tried to give me an intelligence and academics -1.
sure. I'm also was probably taken as an adult. I'm not sure if they taken from England or from France. I think they're French, but their family probably, or at least the their fetch and his family probably live in England. I'm not sure if that was a move that was made pre or post the fetch being a thing.
Okay, it
But
probably would be -2 then, but I am desperate for someone to succeed at this, so if you could just roll a -1 anyway.
so you wanted intelligence and academics?
Yes, please.
Awesome. Uh, that that's I'm gonna find out what the sheet does here, but with the untrained penalty and your -1, that puts me at a net -3. So this should be a chance die. I just want to see if.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, okay, that just rolled no dice. So now I know what happens if you do a normal roll with a total less than 0. I did it.
So the subtle hint I was hoping to get. So you remember, as your sort of, as your little salt man commits the perfect crime, you remember a fact that you are aware of, which is that England is the United Kingdom is the most heavily CCTV'd area in the whole world. So especially in a city centre like this, it's 100% on CCTV.
I look around to see if any of the cameras would have picked up me making the salt from like inside by the corner booth, which was also by the window, so it's definitely not possible. Okay. Go.
Yeah, and to go back to kind of like your point, Wild. So how I interpret, we're just for those of you watching, we're just thinking about whether or not Vasilia's use of this contract would trigger a possible clarity damage for them. How I interpret it is, it depends on whether or not you think this is fine, if that makes sense. So if you're the kind of person who thinks that causing this severity, if you're like, well, they did these things, they broke these oaths and this is their comeuppance and we need this glamour because, we're on the run and we've gone through this terrible thing, then that's fine. Whereas on the other hand, if you're like, oh, actually, no, this is, these ends don't justify the means. So it's up to you. Do you think your character thinks that this is acceptable, or after having done it, are you now having second thoughts?
No, she wouldn't have second thoughts.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Okay,
I'm
good.
just gonna.
I will say that
That's worthy of making a note.
I will say that there's. I think that interpretation is generally appropriate to breaking points. I think there's definitely some areas that should be more hard and fast, like killing people as the extreme example, because it's not much use to have a morality mechanic if you can just avoid ever losing it by saying, "Oh yeah, my character totally thinks this was a good idea."
So that's
but also,
I don't
in reference to the specific sidebar Hunt quoted, I don't think you forced a desire upon someone.
Okay, sure.
I don't think that's what you did.
Also, I don't really see clarity as a morality mechanic in this.
Okay.
Like, I think it's closer to like the vampire kind of thing, where it's more that you're doing battle with, becoming a drooling mess rather than it being a morality mechanic.
I mean, morality mechanic was just a broad, but
sure. Okay, so when you say morality mechanic, you just mean an insight replacement. Okay, I believe then these are all really productive asides. Obviously, it's like a brand new edition, so it's nice to explore these avenues. But I believe there is a scene that needs a fleeing. So I'm going to say one. You guys are going to slip away, I believe, is the common consensus.
Unless, Paige, you point out the cameras.
Right, I was gonna see if I wanted to see if I could determine whether there were any cameras that would have specifically picked up me making the Salt Man and receiving the watch from it.
I'll say from your role that you probably the Salt Man coming and going out of the shop front would have been seen, and you guys standing outside, but I don't think they would have seen like into the cafe and seen them give it to you in particular.
Okay.
So yeah, it would be like the general street, and depending on how far away it is, they might not even pick it up. It might just look like a little white pixel if it's quite far away.
Yeah, because he has a tiny white thing on the concrete, like not. But yeah, she will mention that to them. Like, oh, I hadn't thought about it before now, but they were probably observing the general area. I don't imagine they'll have picked up anything we did here inside the cafe, but for future reference, be
Oh,
important information.
that. Yes, that is important. Um, yes, in that case, I think it wouldn't do to simply uh, simply flee. We'll have to snow the bobbies, as it were.
I'm sorry.
Well, you can go if you wish. I think. Uh, I think that I will, in fact, answer a few questions.
All right. I mean, I'm just there like tying the like putting the watch on my wrist.
Okay, so yeah,
And
the police have arrived outside. They're just getting out of the car.
I think Paige is gonna grab Vasya. I keep wanting to call you Clarity.
Mm.
He is gonna grab Vasya and be like, "How would you like to go to? What's the place uh, that you said Rachel was taking? Is it like a theater or a diner or restaurant?
It's the Full Moon. It's a pub and
It's
hostel.
a host.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's like got a kind of hotel hostel like attached to the side. There's a I presume you're like googling this, and I'm relaying the information to you through Google. You can also Google the Full Moon
Uh,
Bristol, as
yeah,
everything in the game is real.
I was imagining that perhaps Rachel had mentioned something about it.
Hmm.
I do have a phone. I forgot about it. I'm not sure where I'm
Full
keeping it.
moon. All right, street view.
But yeah, she'll. I think Paige is just gonna like uh ask Vasha like, "Would you like to go to the full moon with me?" And does not specify anything beyond that.
Go to the moon. Yes.
Yep, I thought that might be what would happen. And I
And
don't
like,
Paige
I,
even thinks to like
I look around for my bike, but since no one has been paying attention to the bike for a while, it's vanished. So like, oh, it's gone.
yeah, they also
That is,
dissipate at the end of the scene anyway, too, as I recall. Even if you
oh
weren't paying
no,
attention.
that is an accident. What some bike thief is going to have a bike evaporate in like 2 hours.
Damn. Yeah.
Okay, great. We'll transition to the full moon then. It's all right if we put a little break segment in now, just while we're
Yeah,
transitioning
Sure.
things.
sure.
good to me.
Cool.
And so we can sort of elide it if you want, but I do like stick around for the police. Tell them that oh, this man started yelling out of nowhere.
All right, I forgot that you wanted to give a statement. Wow. Okay, yeah, we can role play this. So yeah,
Okay, do you want to
so
do it after
they
the break?
no, we'll do it before the break. We'll do the scene change at the break. So yeah, the basically the waitress who called them initially kind of like steps outside, and you see she is like outside talking to the police, and the three of you are still inside in the booth. What would you like to do, Brad?
So when they arrive, I'll come out and uh, I guess I won't initially even address them. I'll just kind of like stand around looking concerned. Um, but as soon as they start, if they start like asking anybody, if they engage anybody but him on the sidewalk screaming, I'll step right up.
So yeah, one of them is basically handcuffing him, and then the other is kind of like they're kind of like standing and watching the handcuffing like very intently, but they're like talking to the waitress while they're doing it. If that sense, they're sort of like ready to jump in if required, but they're actually just chatting and being like, oh, so what happened? I don't, so yeah, that's what's going, and they kind of, as you sort of peer on a bit, the one who's standing and watching kind of gives you like a kind of like puts his hand out as if to be like your personal space kind of thing.
Let me see. So yeah, I guess I'll stand back a bit, but like try and be close enough to hear uh, uh, what the waitress is saying. Um,
Sure. So
but
yeah, she's just sort of going, I don't know what it is about this place. It's just a magnet for them. And the guy's like, yeah, no, but we've been out there second time this week. Are you sure you're not, I mean, are you sure you guys aren't doing something that's no, officer, no, I swear. I mean, we're not, we're just a normal cafe. I don't know why all these people, well, it could be the location, Stokes Croft, it is what it is like, gentrification only goes so far. Yeah, they're just kind of having like a mundane chat.
Different us.
And then the other one is being like, sir, you're not bleeding. Sir, you are not. Sir, sir, I'm trying to. Sir, I am restraining you.
okay. Uh, yeah. Rather than yeah, if everything seems essentially chill and there isn't any blame drifting our way, then I will uh, uh, I'll just drift off. I mean, I was gonna go into a thing where I made sure that the that it was just
I
like
saw
this
the
guy's a
whole
crazy.
thing,
Yeah,
officer.
yeah. Yes, he just started screaming out of nowhere. Uh, but cool. Okay, so
No, this is actually, once again, as in real life, not that out of the ordinary an occurrence.
okay, so yeah, I guess let's take a short break and call it because yeah, I don't think there's anything that needs done here unless yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so sorry about that. Um, so please do we'll be back shortly. Please stick around and or look for the second half of the video. Thank you. Oh, except that I'm not entirely ready to transition. Nope. Uh, there we go. Be right back.